Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. What is this video about? Well, I'm going to make some wacky percussion in Operator by using kind of as little as possible in terms of triggering it just with a note and velocity, and just seeing how many things I can assign the velocity to create basically complete chaos in a sort of cling-clang percussion, sort of digi percussion FM sort of donkey wang dong, you know, things like that. Actually, I don't know what any of those things are. Those were just stupid sounds I made with my mouth, which is good because that is basically what I'm going to do throughout this video, because that's all I'm interested in doing, is making random noises that no one wants to hear. So what am I going to do? Well, first of all, I'm going to load Operator, and then I'm going to pull in my probability rack, which I showed how to make in another video. I'm not going to show you how to do that now because I've already done a video about it. Go and watch the video about that. I'll post the link in the description. This is basically a way to do probability with MIDI notes without using Max for Live. There's a little probability dial there. And then I'm just going to draw in a note here, and I'm just going to explore. I'm just going to experiment. You know, I haven't got anything planned. Just going to sort of faff about, have a beer, have a vape, you know, stuff. Okay, so my little probability rack there is just doing its work. Let's have a look at it. I can't actually remember how it works, but it works. Anyway. So, okay, yeah, now I also want to put my pop shield back and get the velocity. I'm going to use this velocity device. By default, I have this set to just completely random. So the best way to do that is to have it on both fixed, set the random up full and set the output high to 64, and then right click and go save as default preset. That is my default preset for velocity. So one thing that Ableton's instruments do, which I love to bits, is that you can assign velocity to the time of envelopes. So this first envelope here, I'll set quite short, and I'll turn the time up here on velocity to time. And so with each trigger note on from the arpeggiator, we'll get a random velocity, which should give me a different envelope decay. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Already it sounds non-robotic in a robotic kind of way. I'm going to switch all of these to fixed because I'm not going to be making music. This is percussion. If you don't know how Operator works, it's an FM synthesizer. There are 4 oscillators and they are all sort of modulating each other in various ways according to all these different algorithms here. But I'm going to go with algorithm number 1, which is oscillator D, modulating the frequency of oscillator C, modulating the frequency of oscillator B, modulating the frequency of... So that's kind of a little easy for my tiny brain to understand right now. So I've set them all to fixed, which means I can just sort of choose the frequency. Let's bring that decay up a little bit more. Okay, so now if I introduce oscillator B, which I believe is modulating the frequency of oscillator A, we'll start to get some FM. Now the envelope, they've all got their own envelopes, so, and they're all kind of set to pretty high. So I'm basically going to do the same thing with each envelope. Give it a short decay time and then turn the velocity to time up, but I'm going to kind of do this the other way, so it's different to oscillator A. So basically I just want to try and get as many kind of random sounds as I can just using velocity, really. Let's increase the velocity, the frequency here. Okay, so why don't we use the velocity for something else? What can we use it for? Can we use it for the pitch? I don't think we can. We can use velocity for time here. I'm just going to flick on the little helper here. Velocity defines how much velocity depends on it. Yeah, okay, no, we don't want that. So probably we want, I guess we can just use the LFO and route the LFO to the pitch. Let's just try to the pitch of oscillator B. So oscillator A will be at a constant pitch. Oscillator B will change pitch every time with, well, without velocity, but with a sample and hold LFO. Let's go to sample and hold. Let's set it to low. Let's set that to LFO retrigger enabled. Okay, let's turn the rate all the way down, the amount all the way up. All right. So we've got sort of a fun kind of drum. Oh my. All right, let's try and introduce oscillator C. Go for a different oscillator type. Let's go for a saw. See what happens. Oh. Let's check our envelope here. So it's kind of, yeah, very weird. It's kind of got lots of low end for a big drum, and it's got lots of harsh, noisy top end for a cymbal sound. So it's kind of mutant drum sound. And of course, as you increase or decrease the levels on some of them, it greatly affects the sound. So we can actually use the velocity for, which I kind of did already. Let's use the velocity to determine the level of oscillator B. Yeah, I mean, it all starts to get very strange very quickly. Whoops. That's my probability rack. Let's just increase the probability a little bit. Yeah. What can we do with oscillator D? There's some feedback, but I can't. Oh, the feedback's on with this. I think the feedback's. Oh, interesting. Oh, no, the feedback is always on. All right, let's try some feedback. I don't really know what that does. Whoops. I don't know a huge amount about FM synthesis. An oscillator can modulate itself if it is not modulated by others. The modulation is dependent not only on the setting of the feedback control, but also on the oscillator level and the envelope. Higher feedbacks create a more... There you go. Let's bring the voices down to 1. I might bring in the note length here, because even though I'm using envelopes, I'm not 100% convinced by what's actually going on. I want to listen to some note length. I'm going to max out this note length. Oh, it's a bit more interesting. Yeah, it's a bit more what I was after. I guess I probably could have done that by increasing the decay time, but oh well. So only oscillator D has the feedback enabled. None of the others do. Is that only when sign's on? No. That's a bit weird. Don't understand that. Weird. Anyway. Let's play around with the filter. Let's get the filter involved. Let's use the morphing filter. Let's see here. Let's add the LFO destination to the morph. Come on, filter. Quite harsh, isn't it? Let's bring the frequencies down. If it's getting a little bit much for the ears, maybe we could try dipping the frequencies down a little bit, see what that... Let's put some compression on there. Let's compress it like an idiot. Sound. Now we got some pitch envelope. Yeah, let's try the pitch envelope. Why don't we loop it? Let's loop the pitch envelope. And we'll set the time again here to velocity, the velocity to time. And we'll increase the pitch envelope, which I think is across all oscillators, not the LFO though. I don't want to do it to that. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, we've got some stuff here as well. Velocity, velocity to time. That's just that. That's that knob there. I just adjusted. Let's do that. Let's do velocity to time amount. Let's oscillator feedback fixed frequency. There's lots of stuff here, isn't there? LFO rate, LFO amount, volume, crossfade. I'm not sure. Let's just do the tone. Oh, hello. We can also route the pitch envelope to something else too. What could we do? The LFO rate? Not sure about that. LFO amount. Shaper drive. What is the shaper? Is that on the? That's on that, isn't it? Oh, we've got to have a go at that, haven't we? Yeah. Whoa. Try some different oscillators. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I've sort of, like I say, I'm a casual FM synthesis enthusiast. I've always sort of just tended to do it using sine waves. I've never sort of really quite seen the point in using anything else, really. But of course, there's probably loads of reasons why that's a stupid thing to say. If so, then I don't know. Leave a comment, as they say on YouTube world. Oh, hello. That's fun. That's fun. Sounds like a little tiny pipe. Yeah, I mean, if you had Max for Live, you could easily pull in a LFO and start modulating the bejesus out of all this stuff. But I'm just interested in, you know, the purism of just using velocity. Ooh, excuse me, trapped wind. Oh, cool. Oh, hello. Stereo. I should chuck a beat repeater on there for a laugh. Yeah, it's true what they say. It does have a kind of organic and yet alien quality about it. What was I using for the drive? I've changed my mind about that now. Aux envelope amount. That's just the LFO. That's LFO1, I think, determining the amount of this pitch envelope. I think, not 100% sure. Oh, lovely. Got a real glassy sound there. Oh. Let's put some reverb in. Well, I think that'll do for one video. So there you go. You can use velocities, random velocities, to do lots of crazy things in Ableton. Give it a go. I'm going to zip up this session now and go and put that on my Patreon page. And if you like Patreon, thanks. Bye.